Hey guys, it's Al from Altruistic Channel, and I'm just about ready for bed. But I was sitting here thinking about myself and kind of the path I've gone down in order to kind of get where I'm at. And I was thinking about you all as leaders out there, and I was kind of just looking at the general dynamics that exists within our scope of reality. And one of the things that I was noticing was that when it comes to leadership, there comes a point when you must invest in your own sense of self and have conviction in your ability to reach the vision. And that means requiring enough of yourself to know that you have the skill set to not only reach it, but to make it. What is the vision that you have? And it takes a specific type of leader to focus their energy down on what the task is underlying all movement, right? So it's getting to the core truth of what you're trying to do. And it can take a long time, but no one ever really talks about that aspect in leadership, especially at the CEO founder level. And we usually just go down the same paths that other people have kind of paved. But along those lines has a new phenomena begun, which is the innovators and game changers. And what it is that for a long time, I never realized that I was in possibly that categorization with what I was trying to do because there's nothing of merit to the title there. I'm not a title person. I believe that that's actually separatist and does nothing good for us as humanity. But I'm starting to realize that it's just kind of what I envision for my path and that of the altruistic channel. So for me, personally speaking, what I'm trying to accomplish overall is we are at a very serious part in the journey for humanity. In my opinion, we have now kids with semi automatic weapons killing each other. We have the same old political bullshit that we've been dealing with for a very long time that has now literally reached a stalemate where neither side can budge even a little bit. And so we're at that point where even the shadow side, the darker parts of society, is like, fuck, we're fucked. Like, we need to act in ways that is new. And so that's where Altruistic Channel kind of came from. It's a global concern that I have about humanity not believing in itself anymore. It's lost its faith and hope, which is why I turned to spirituality. But when you talk about spirituality in the old days and you factor in to the work setting, you get this huge backlash. And I just started to realize that that's not needed anymore. The organized religion thing has fallen. Let's be honest. The biggest one was the Catholic Church. And until they make amends by housing the child molesting aspect of it, we're not going to go back to it. It has to do its part in reciprocity for us to return to it. But during the period of its absence, we have an opportunity as a collective to step together in leadership and guide us in what bonds us, which is a faith and hope in the future. And that's what I'm trying to do with Altruistic Channel. My dream is to essentially set up a third system between the political machine and organized religion that speaks to the middle path, which is all of those of us who fall under the category of believing in a higher power, whatever it is, and also believing in the rights to believe in that, whatever it is, and working together as a team to ensure that everyone on the planet has the ability to believe and to dream and to reach their goals and to do what they need to do in order to ascend the madness of what is going on around them. The more educated you become, the more you see that there comes a point when what used to be true is no longer true for you. And there comes a point when you have to actually spring into action. And so you go through a process but where you just stop yourself with, oh, I can't do it because of this. Or my husband or my wife won't do it because of this. And I have to think of, no, you don't have to think about it. You have to do it. Because at the end of the day, if you can see it, you've already processed the information. If it's in your head, if you can visualize what it is that you're after, then you have processed what it is that you are trying to do. You're now just setting up roadblocks up for yourself. You know, I sat for a very long time worried about that I didn't have enough money to go into business for myself. And then I realized what I'm trying to do is build networks and build a system that creates the need for a physical spot that we can all work from, that we don't know, we're not married to it, but it's like something that exists, that's understood, that gives us the opportunity to find solace in it, and that is still preserving our right to have faith or to have hope. It's like a beacon that stands in it and of itself, away from both sides of the spectrum, and just stands in the middle. I can do that. I can speak to that. I'm doing it right now. And so I removed that block. And that's where we're at. It's just that moment in your leadership skill set where you become not a leader, but the general, or you become the CEO, or you become the king, or the queen, or the president, whatever it is. And you silently went to it, if done the right way, with no ego. And no one's ever noticed me, but you just do it because the need is far greater than your fear. And then when you reach that, then you remove the bullshit that is blocking you around that path. And you step into yourself. And suddenly, everything becomes clearer. It doesn't necessarily change overnight, by the way. But it just changes the dynamic of how you relate to the obstacle. And remember, obstacles are just opportunities dressed up for a night out. It's just an opportunity. Because at the end of the day, if you train your mind to think that way, you can manifest what I do in strategy, which is to understand what's to come, and better yet, what it is that everyone else is overlooking. Because in an obstacle being an opportunity, if you get there first, you get there first. And now that we're going into a state where we're going to be in a bit of the numbers crunch, where a large portion of our population is exiting and making retirement more their home, we're going to have to fill the void. That's where a lot of you will find a lot of good resources. And so, understanding what your skill sets and what it is that you have strength over other people, like I do at this point, is where you will monetize what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Don't worry about not having the resources. I'm now looking for investors and people of like minds who want to actually build this type of existence where there is an actual faith-based, spiritually based something in the third dimension that physically exists, that houses intellectual property, faith, and spirituality of every denomination, that allows everyone a safe space to practice whatever it is that they practice, as long as it's ethical and moral and contributes to the community. If that's what you're interested in, then I'm your man. I'm the president. Hey, hi, how are you? I have the vision, I know what I'm doing. But if it's not at that point yet for you, then just step into who you are. Because the world needs us now. And don't let blocks stop you, because you have what it takes. That's what leadership is. I guess now we're just being asked, I guess the reason I wanted to say this, because I feel like we're being asked now to let go of what we thought was blocking us. Because in the end, that is what its manifestation is about. It's about you knowing that you have what it takes. No one can take that away from you. So own it. Walk into the light. Anyway, that's it for me on Altruistic Channel. Have a good night, guys.